In order to create a setup sheet template or even modify an existing one, it is necessary to know the setup sheet add-in options. Here, I have opened up one template inside add-in. In the ribbon, we can see that this add-in is consisted of 5 sections: Main, Action, Font and Alignment, Toolbox, and Help section. We'll go through each and every section here and explain them briefly. Main section tools contain special functions that a setup sheet add-in allows, such as new template definition, source data, setup sheet manager, and template options. New template definition is used to define a new template from a currently opened workbook. Next up, let's talk about template options. They enable a user to open up an interface which helps them define a basic template options. If we click on it, on the right side, we can see the preview of the Template Options tab. Let's expand it a bit. We see it's divided in 3 sections: General, Output Settings, and Source Data. If we click on any option, on the bottom, you can see the description of what the option does. These are all here basic and fundamental options that are embedded inside any setup sheet template. Let's go now and close them. Setup Sheet Manager is used to enable a user to define a desired template design. Let's expand it a bit and expand also this here column. First, we see here is a sheet purpose. So here we have an active sheet and it can have a different purpose. Let's try it. It can have a purpose of none, or it will be not used inside the template. It can be a user data container or a setup sheet template. If it is a setup sheet template design, here you define a design of your template and how your setup sheet will look like. And here you can design the structure of your template. Structure of the template is consisted of pages, sections, and subsections. Each of the pages, sections, and subsections have their own options, which will be further explained. The third purpose for a sheet, let's try explain it like this. We'll add a new sheet and define it as user data container. Apply formatting and hit yes. The third purpose is a sheet where you can define user variables with its values and descriptions, which can be later used inside your template definition. Let's close up now Setup Sheet Manager and talk about source data. Source data enables a user to point to a DXML file location and load needed values for variables that will be used within the template definition. The process of loading the DXML file will be further explained. But for now, we have one DXML file here already loaded. Source data has 3 tabs: CAM part data, strings, and internal strings. Let's start from CAM part data. Here, you see it is consisted of many folders. When you load up your DXML file, all of these folders get populated by variables. On the right side, you can see the list of indexes. Left are the active indexes, which are always 1 when you start your template design, but you can set them when you are defining a template, you can set them at each point to a value which you want. And on the right side, you can see the maximum value of the index. So for example, inside tool folder, we are watching first tool out of 6 tools. Let's try expanding one folder. Here, we see all the variables that are contained inside this folder for tools. This is a visual representation of a variable value. This is a visual representation of a variable label. Also, we can have a variable as image, and I will now show you how it is visually represented by showing you also the search option here. You can search for image, and you will see here that inside the general data, we have a main part image, which is visually represented like this. All of the options concerning this source data will be further explained more in the next videos. Next tab are strings. Here we have a list of all strings that come from SolidCAM. Each of these strings can convert and put to be an internal string. What this means is when you put it to be an internal string, that string is directly embedded inside the template. And it cannot ever be lost depending on the version of SolidCAM you are using. All right, let's now close up the source data tab. Action section options are used for testing the template while creating it by using the loaded DXML file as a source data. Font and alignment section incorporates tools from basic Excel tools that are used most often for defining one document, such as alignment tools, font, borders, colors, etc. Toolbox section, on the other hand, has tools for cell manipulations and basic view and formula options, such as merge cells, split columns, set cell size, or maybe even show page breaks. Last but not the least, help section contains a user guide for template creation and TS functions help to assist a user in implementing tool sheet functions.